Hi everyone, it's Elise, and I'm here today to show you how I do my gel manicures. As you can see here, my nails are looking really rough. Some of them have peeled completely off, some of them are starting to chip. So I'm going to show you how I remove them. First, I use 100% pure acetone nail polish remover. I use cotton balls, usually ripped in half, and I use this really old, rough-looking file to gently buff the shine off, and tinfoil to wrap around my fingers and the cotton balls. So first, you see here, I'm going to buff away the shine from the nails. I'm doing it really lightly, I promise you. It just looks like it's going very fast because I have the footage sped up. But so I just go along and I file down the shine on all of the nails. And next I grab a piece of the tinfoil and one of the halved cotton balls. I usually half the cotton balls so they just last me a long time. They're pretty bulky if I don't rip them in half. And on the plus side, I'm getting twice the amount I would if I were just using the cotton balls full. So I will take the cotton ball, soak it in acetone, place it on top of my fingernail, and then wrap my fingernail with the cotton balls soaked in acetone on it with the tinfoil. That helps to keep the acetone cotton ball on top of the nail so it can soak and penetrate into the gel nail polish, and removal is easier in the long run. I will just then go on to do that for all of my fingers. And once I've wrapped all of my fingers, I will then take a disposable glove. These are the gloves that I use for my hair dyeing to not stain my hands. And I will wear the glove on top of that. That also helps produce heat, keep heat in, which helps the nail polish removal go a little faster. And also lets me use my hands while I'm waiting 10 minutes to take it off. After 10 minutes have passed, I will then go in and take off. And you can see that the acetone started to penetrate the nail polish and made it lift. So I will then take my nail because I feel it's a little less harsh than if I were to use a metal scraper. I think a lot of people for this step use orange wood sticks, but I don't have any of those. And again, like I've said, or I don't think I've said it in this video, but I'm not a professional on any of this. I just do it for fun. So I feel like my fingernail's a little less damaging. And as you can see here, I have a little spot that won't come off with scratching. So I'll just end up soaking that for a little while longer. Once I've done that, if I have any left, I will then put the glove back on and soak it for another little while of time and go back to trying to remove it. If it doesn't completely come off after that second soak with my nail polish, sometimes I'll do a third soak, or I will lightly buff again to see if I can get the majority of it off. So as you can see here, my hand is now fully removed of nail polish, and I will start on the next hand. Right, now that my hands are all clean and free of nail polish, I use this Instant Cuticle Remover by Sally Hansen just to remove any loose cuticles I have around the edges of my nails. It dissolves them a little bit, so I'll put some on all of my fingers. And at that point, I'll count to 10 and push my cuticles back lightly. See, again, I use my own fingernail because I feel like it's gentler than other items that I could. And then after I've washed my hands to deactivate it, I will then take a metal cuticle push and, like I said right there, lightly push it back. Again, it does not look very as lightly as it is because the footage is sped up, but I am very, very gently pushing back any loose cuticles that I may have missed with my nail or that were just too stuck to the nail. Once I have pushed back all my cuticles, I will then go back over sometimes and just really get in there and make sure, again, still very, very lightly. After lightly pushing my cuticles back, I will then file the edges to perfect the shape of them. Right now I'm going for an oval shape or a rounded shape. So I just go and refine some of them around the edges. As they've grown out, they'll get nicked on the sides or they will become square as the nail grows out. So I just like to go back in and define the rounded shape that I like. Being that this was filmed a little while ago, I currently have square shaped nails with rounded edges. And as I just pointed out right there, I had a little chip in the side of my nail that ends up with me having to trim down the nail a lot further than the other ones. So I just file away, kind of nip at it with the cuticle snips, just to at least, even if it's shorter, get that rounded shape back to it. I try my best to angle my hands at the camera so you can see what I'm doing with the filing. It's very difficult. I will get better in the future if I ever make another one of these videos. So please bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing a video like this. And also the first time I'm doing a voiceover, so thank you for putting up with me. Alright, so after filing for forever, and a little bit more to make sure I have the right shapes. I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to my nail shape. Not so much in other aspects, but nails, yes. So after I've perfected the shape, I will then take my buffing block. It has a very coarse side, a medium coarse side, and a fine side, and I usually use the fine side just to buff up my natural nail a little bit, to give the nail polish something to stick to. Again, it does not look like it's as light as it is because the video is sped up, but I didn't want you guys staring at me forever, filing and shaping and buffing my nails. So once I have buffed my nails to get the natural shine off the nails, I will take my jealous of how beautiful my nails are at the end of this. I will take my gelish system and use the pH bond to dehydrate all of my nails after I have buffed them to make the surface a little bit rough. Right now, the skin around my nails is looking very, very dry after all the work I've done to them, but in the end, they will look a lot better. I will use the cuticle oil that's in the system to re-nourish them, along with lots and lots of hand lotion. It's getting into, well, it's not getting into, it is winter time here, and my nails need a lot of TLC. But after waiting 30 seconds for the pH bond to dry, I use this gelish foundation as the first layer of the gel manicure. And I will apply it to my nails as close as the cuticle as I can, and brushing up. I also do cover the tip of the nail, the free edge, just to seal everything in. And I apply this base to all of my nails. After I've applied the base to all of my nails, I then take my lamp and set it up. And I do this trick where I turn my hand upside down so that all the gel nail polish, it does self-level, so it pulls towards the center of my nails. And then I stick it under the lamp for 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds has passed, I will then do my thumb. I don't do all of my nails, like I said, I lied. I do my 4 fingers and then I do my thumb. Just because if I did my thumb and I tried to stick it into the lamp, all the gel on the thumb would pool to the side. So I do the thumb separately. And each time I stick my hand on the lamp, it's for 30 seconds. I've sped up the footage again so you guys aren't watching me for forever. The color I'm using today is just a dark gray color that I got off Amazon. And so what I do, I try to apply as thin and as even as a layer, blah, blah, blah. I try to apply as even and thin layer as possible to the nails so it cures evenly and it works better for me. And I do that to all 4 of my nails and then my thumb separately. Now that I finished with the color, I'm going to go in with the gelish Top It Off top coat. And again, I'm going to apply it the same way I applied the foundation and the color. Go as close to my cuticles as possible and slowly pulling out towards the end of my nails, making sure I don't flood any of the cuticles, don't go over the edges, and making sure I cap off that free edge to make sure it all sticks in there. Once I've covered all the nails with top coat, I kind of hold them up to the light and double check that there's no splotches, no gapping. Make sure it's all covered with the top coat and put it under the lamp again, 4 fingers, then the thumb, double checking each time to make sure everything is covered, and I get that beautiful shine at the very end. Once the top layer is done curing, we want to take our isopropyl alcohol to remove the sticky residue from the top of the nail. And I use that with a lint-free wipe or a paper towel. What I have right here is a paper towel. You want to remove that sticky layer because it's any uncured gel that's risen to the top. Once I remove that sticky layer, I use the Nourish from the gelish line, like I said at the beginning, to rehydrate the cuticles around my nail, because after all that work, your nails and nail beds and skin are very, very dry. I rub that into my nails, and once that's done, I go and wash it off my hands, like I say right there. And this is what the side by side is, one of the finished hand and one of the still bare hand, and we are good to go. We go on to the next hand, and what you are left with is a beautiful gel manicure.